your standard, typical fantasy RPG tends not to be very interesting unless someone does something really, really offbeat with it, which very rarely happens. Like a D&D setting is very hard for me to get into, but Fallout is just, like post-apocalyptic is fairly common. It's a pretty standard trope, but it's handled so well in this game and has such a unique flavor to it that you really do want to just keep going and finding out and like find out what else there is to be seen.
Yeah.
And even though I totally sucked up my first play, like Garnet told me there's no wrong way to play Fallout, but he's so wrong. I've played it the worst way possible.
How are you playing it?
Badly.
No, but like, how are you actually playing it? Like, what? Because are you actually playing like old disc, or are you using?
I'm using the Mac OS build of the game on my computer, and it works just fine.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
So yeah.
Well, now you can get it on Good Old Games.
Yeah, because
well, it's actually right now it's a free play download on GameTap.
I haven't tested that version, but sometimes they are kind of hinky, and in my experience, I haven't actually messed with the GameTap version, but I do know that Good Old Games, because I actually saw Jeff install Fallout from Good Old Games, where they actually they did some weird voodoo to actually making sure it runs on modern systems without completely fucking up and like saying, oh yeah, when you hit the end turn, you actually see like 6,000 turns, not one, because your computer's thinking much faster than everything else.
Well, I'm sure that it's just a virtual DOS simulator.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like
space.
DOSBox with like a nice Windows thingy wrapped around it. But yeah, I just remember seeing Jeff like, oh, you actually click like next and Fallout becomes installed. You hit a shortcut and it goes like. And then there's like weird voodoo with like DOS boxes and shit like that. So I was just curious how you were, but I didn't know the Mac with that version.
I'm doing it. The original Mac OS 9, OS 8 version didn't work. It was terrible. But the OS 10 version was ported by Mumbo Jumbo, and they did a really good job with it.
Oh, cool.
Like, it's one of the few games that was ported to Mac OS 10 in like 2002 that still works on Leopard.
Gotcha.
Because like Tiger and Leopard, the most recent operating systems, have pretty much broken any game made before 2003. But no, Fallout still works just fine.
Wow, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you can find a copy, I think it's like $10.
Probably.
It still runs on a Mac.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now multiple options: Macs, GameTap, Good Old Games. Now it's easier to play.
It's a plethora of possibility. So I would really like to finish the game someday. I'm sure I will. Maybe once I like retire or something. I don't know.
Well, it's worth it even now.
Use small guns first, but always put points into energy weapons, because that'll help you in the end. It's like
I've already got an energy weapon, but of course I can't use it because I shoot at something.
But yeah, that was like the biggest tip was like small guns, because 95% of your combat's going to be with like things considered small arms fire, like rifles and pistol stuff.
You're always going to really want to get the prerequisites for the sharpshooter.
But end game, like they use more energy weapons, so it's good to start investing early.